the body moves in movements and not body parts. So when you're going to the gym and say, hey, it's workout A, and you're gonna do you're gonna focus on shoulder and tricep that day, or back or something like that, and say, okay, I'm gonna go to the pack fly machine and do my chest, and then I'm gonna go to get a dumbbell and do front raises and get my shoulder, and then I need to do 2-3 different exercises, and each exercise I'm gonna do 3 or 4 sets of it to just hit my deltoid. To me, that is very time consuming, because you could do other more compound movements that involve multiple joints and muscle groups to work multiple muscle groups, like doing a chin up. It works your chest, your shoulder, and your back and your bicep. Whereas if you want to work all of those muscles intensely, you'll have to do, and you do it like the traditional bodybuilding style, then you will do curls, and then hammer curls, concentration curls. Okay, that's 3 exercises, 3 sets each. And then you go to the pack fly machine, and then you do bench, and then something else with just your pack, and then you do something else just for your back, like lats pull down or rows. Some of these more isolated movements, like leg extension or calf raises or bicep curls, they're just not very time efficient, because if I were to, for you to grow muscle, like to achieve hypertrophy, it's not just locally working the muscle, but overall stress make the body want to produce anabolic hormones to help you grow stronger and recover faster. And so total volume of a workload matters. It actually matters more than, okay, I'm just going to keep doing my bicep stuff. Especially for someone who wants to do the whole body, and for someone who wants to save time. If I were to say I deadlift 300 pounds a rep, and then I can do 5 reps per set, and I'm gonna do 10 sets. So that's 10 times 5 times 300. Okay, I don't know how many tons that is. That's quite a bit of weight that I can lift within 10 minutes. 3 sets of 10 reps for 300 pounds. I can do that in 10 minutes, where I lifted tons of weights. Whereas you trying to do curls with 20 pounds in each hand, doing 20 reps for 3 sets, and then imagine how many sets you have to do that to pack on that much volume for the body to elicit growth. So that's why compound movements will always be better. And on top of that is that instead of thinking of movements in muscle groups or muscle parts or in isolation, you want to think of movements. And so the body, as human beings, we move, we push things, we pull things, we rotate, we jump, we crawl, we climb, we plank, we lunge, we back pedal, we lateral movements, all that. So, just for health, if you train hard, you're gonna work the muscle, that's fine. But why don't you also train for functionality? Train for, what if one day you have to change your own tire, or your car's battery's out and you have to push out an intersection, or your boyfriend or your spouse is unconscious and the house is on fire, and can you carry this 200 pound man down the stairs and save his life? Things like that, like helping your kids move from dorm to dorm, anything. And so when you're performing those movements, for example, lifting a heavy box, you have to squat down, which bends your knee and your ankle and your hip. You have to reach for the box, and then you have to keep the box closer to the body, so mechanically it's more efficient. And so it's important to train the deadlift so that you can perform carrying a heavy box or lifting a heavy box and put it down in a safe manner that it doesn't throw your back out. But if you only work muscle parts when you go to the gym, you're at a machine you're doing the leg extension machine, and you're extending your knee joint, you're sitting there. Sure, it works your quads, but in real life, when do we ever just sit there and extend our knee? Unless you're in like rehab or something. And let's say you go to Pilates class and they say, oh, his core is functional for you or whatever. But in reality, is that when do you ever be on the floor contracting your abs, other than if you're a wrestler? So it's for yoga. So they think, oh, yoga is for flexibility. And I ask them, why is it good for flexibility? And they can't answer. And also, when do we ever put ourselves in those poses statically and not having to move and resist a weight? So all of those are just not very efficient, and they don't focus on movements where it actually matters in real life situations. So I like you to start looking at the body, and to keep this simpler, instead of talking about sports performance, hand-eye coordination or feedback and reaction time, if you're just trained to look good and also move more efficiently, I like you to think of the body as a machine that pushes things and pull things and we rotate. And sometime with speed or sometime without speed, as in static contraction. And so, for example, if you want to do a upper body push movement, it would be, you could do dip, you could do bench press, you could do push up, you can do an incline press or military press. So you're basically pushing things away from your body. So when you're doing combat movements like this, you're engaging your elbow joint, your wrist, your shoulder joint, your scapula, and they all work in synergy. And so you get the best bang out of your butt because you're spending less time lifting more weights. Instead of, okay, I'm gonna do this for my calf, I'm gonna do this for my forearm, I'm gonna do this for blah blah blah. So an upper body pull movement example of that would be like inverted row or chin up, pull up, pull downs, upright rows, cleans. There's variations of that. And then a lower body push would be a squat, front squat, overhead squat, back squat, single leg squat, Bulgarian squat, you name it. And then lower body pull would be like a sumo deadlift or a snatch or clean, or even just a vertical jump or bridge or hip thrust, lunges. They all work pulls and push as well. And so that's how I like you to start seeing your training program should be. Like if you're to, I won't make it a template, but in the future, when things start getting bored, or you want to add an exercise to your workout, or you're on a vacation, you have to think, okay, how do I work the whole body so that I don't have to do this every day? Then that's how I want you to think about how you will construct your own program. So, okay, I want to pick an exercise at this hotel right now. I can do for push and pull, lower body and upper body. The upper body push, I can do a push-up. Upper body pull, I can do inverted row. I can or upright row. Find your suitcase or something, a backpack, and you can row with it. And then lower body push, I can hold on to the suitcase and I do squat with it, or do jumps, and then I can do a single leg bridge with my foot on the bed, and I can pull and work my hamstring, my glutes, and my lower back. And then there's your program. That's 4 exercises. Works your push and pulls, upper body, lower body, and 3 to 4 sets each. You're at a hotel. You finish the workout in 40 minutes. That's how I want you to see how to work out now.